Hey guys, Sanjay here from Tech Respect, and we're here to review the HTC One X from Rogers and or AT&T. So let's go ahead and take a look. The One X is honestly one of the prettiest phones I've ever held in my hands. It's very thin and streamlined, and it has a nice well-distributed weight to it. The back has a matte finish while the surrounding has a glossy finish. While this is an odd choice, it doesn't feel bad to hold at all. The entire back casing is made up of durable polycarbonate, but the white does stain very easily, especially if you wear jeans. However, it is also fairly easy to clean if it does get stained. Just use a wet wipe or a wet paper towel. Taking a look at the specs, we have a dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 CPU, 1 GB of RAM, a 4.7-inch Super LCD 2 display, an 8-megapixel camera, and is running Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean in the works. And that's pretty much all that matters to us right now. The dual-core CPU works amazingly well. A lot of people cringe when they hear, oh, it has a dual-core CPU, while the international one has the quad-core Tegra 3 CPU. But the S4 CPU does have a better architecture than last year's dual cores, and the Tegra 3 actually has last year's core architecture, meaning it just has 4 of last year's cores, while we have a newer technology right here. So it is very comparable in performance with the quad-core international variant. What this dual-core processor means, however, is the LTE connectivity, which the international one cannot have. Which is, if you have experienced it, or if you have never experienced it, it will blow you away. I was able to get around 30 megabits per second, which is quite amazing on the Rogers network, of course, and it's really quite amazing. But anyway, getting back to the performance of the CPU, you will be able to get through most phone functions without any slowdown or stuttering. However, once in a while you will feel some lag on the phone, but this is mainly due to HTC Sense 4.0 Android overlay, which is quite graphically intensive. The display is a real treat to look at. Colors are really nice and vibrant, very saturated, and it's very bright for good outdoor viewing in sunlight. The 720p resolution also makes things very easy to look at. Small text is very easy to read. One thing I'd like to share is that I usually hate auto brightness. I'd much rather have a brightness adjustment bar on the notification dropdown. But on the One X, the auto brightness has been very intuitive. It's not obtrusive like it is on the Galaxy S3, so I found myself using it more than keeping it on a static brightness. The camera takes great pictures, and the interface is very easy to use. It has video recording and picture taking buttons on the same window, so you don't have to switch between picture and video taking. So you can easily take a video, and at the very next second you can take a picture. And you can also take pictures while taking video, which is a feature from Android 4.0 anyway. You can also add a bunch of effects to your camera pretty quick, and if you want to take a bunch of pictures, all you have to do is press and hold the camera button and let go when you think you have enough. After you do so, you get the option to either pick the best picture of the lot or just delete them individually. It's all very quick and intuitive. Low light picture taking is also pretty admirable for a phone as well. One thing I don't like about the camera though is the bulge there is at the back to house it. It's more prominent than on most phones, and it's a little bit worrying. The Sense 4.0 overlay looks very nice, but to one who enjoys the more minimalistic stock feeling of Android, it's very obtrusive. There is quite a bit of bloatware, and it doesn't add a whole lot to the experience for aesthetics. However, like I said earlier, Sense 4.0 is very graphically intensive, so if you have a Sense widget on your home screen and you switch pages, it will most likely pop out and give a 3D effect, which is really cool. Has been really well refined, and though it does stutter from time to time, it will most likely improve with the upcoming Android 4.1 update. The stock Sense keyboard is absolutely horrible in my opinion for writing emails and texting. The arrow keys can be very annoying to get used to, and you will most likely end up hitting them instead of the spacebar with your first day on the phone. Call quality is pretty decent, but it isn't amazing. It will fulfill most people's needs as a phone. I have not had any dropped calls with my time with this phone, and GPS connection is usually strong and spot on in most cases. But the compass does seem to occasionally mess up and show me pointing in the wrong direction, or give me wrong navigational prompts. Beats audio is really nothing to speak of. It has a specific equalizer setting for Beats headphones, which enhances the experience. I tried it out with Beats headphones, and it is just a glorified bass booster, and for branding purposes. It really didn't add to my experience with my Sennheiser RS160s, which are really great headphones, by the way. Definitely check them out if you have the time. Some of the downfalls with the One X is that we don't have a removable battery, and the memory is not expandable. If you bought a 16 GB version, you will most likely end up with 8 or 9 GB of usable space, which is quite awful for such a premium phone. The non-removable battery is annoying at first, but you do get used to it because the battery life is quite manageable. Speaking of which, I've been getting around 20 hours of use with the One X, with an average of 1 hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours of screen time, which is less than the Galaxy S3, but not bad for a phone with a battery with the battery draining LTE, which LTE is infamous for. Unfortunately, I've had other issues such as backlight bleeding and dead pixels with my first One X, and poor fluctuating Wi-Fi reception on my second One X, which also had a tiny bit of backlight bleeding again. These are tolerable issues, but issues nonetheless. All in all, this is a great device despite the few quirks. You really can't go wrong with buying this device, and you will be getting one of the best Android experiences available in the market. Just a tip though, make sure you get the black one if you do wear jeans, or get yourself a pouch and a case with the white one. This has been Sanjay for Tech for Spec, and thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.